100% FDI allowed in the telecom sector via automatic route, 4-year moratorium on paying dues. It's a watershed moment for telecom sector, tweets the Prime Minister. Major incentives for auto sector too. Air India for sale. Tata's bid for the national carrier. SpiceJet's Ajay Singh also bids for Air India. Income tax raids at actor Sonu Sood's premises. Delhi Chief Minister tweets, prayers of lakhs of families are with Sonu Sood. Raids allegedly linked to Lucknow property firm. 17-year-old girl dies by suicide in Tamil Nadu over medical entrance exam NEET. She is the third NEET aspirant to die by suicide. Chief Minister Stalin appeals to students and parents to ease the pressure. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. The government on Wednesday announced major reforms in the telecom sector to boost competition. A 4-year moratorium on past dues and an 100% FDI via automatic route, which is up from 49% earlier. The Prime Minister tweeted saying that it is a watershed moment for the telecom sector and a win-win for the sector and consumers. There were major incentives for auto sector too.
Today's reform in the telecom sector have not just thrown a lifeline to the struggling Vodafone, but also reopened the Indian market to foreign players. The government's mantra is a robust telecom sector with competition and customer choice.
That there should be healthy competition in this sector. And for that, there will be further reforms when the 5G spectrum is auctioned out and new auctions come, so that more and more players can get into this sector.
Vodafone Idea, Airtel and to a lesser extent RIL owed the government over 92,000 crores in past dues, known as AGR. Following a Supreme Court order, the government has announced a 4-year moratorium on the AGR dues and redefined rules so that non-telecom revenues of these companies will be excluded from AGR charges from now on. In a major move, automatic foreign direct investment limit has been hiked from 49% to 100%, but with riders for investments from China. For license auctions, the hefty bank guarantees have been whittled down and the tenure of a license increased from 20 years to 30 years.
Significant improvement होगा जिससे कि 5G का इन्वेस्टमेंट किया जा सकता है. ये असेसमेंट किया गया है और इसमें पूरी आशा है कि इसके कारण 5G का इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉसिबल होगा.
With a 50,000 crore tax bill, Vodafone was facing a shutdown. Its former chairman Kumaramangalam Birla had asked the government to take over his stake. It reacted today saying path-breaking reforms, unshackling telecom sector and ensuring healthy growth. Bharati Airtel welcomed the announcement saying this will support the telecom industry that has been battered by unprecedented stress, high debt and low return on investments. And Jio too said it welcomes the reforms and relief package announced by the Government of India, as these are timely steps towards strengthening India's telecom sector. Close on the heels of Ford's exit from India, the government today announced a production-linked scheme for the auto industry. It pitched some big numbers. Incentives worth 26,000 crores, help create additional employment of over 4.6 lakh people and help attract fresh investments of over 42,500 crores over 5 years and incremental production of over 2.3 lakh crores. Tata Motors, India's third biggest car manufacturer, welcomed this, calling it progressive, transformational, accelerating the country's progress towards green mobility. The telecom sector has been a very litigated sector, and it's in that backdrop that the government has been careful not to find foul of the Supreme Court and has kept to its directions and framework to ensure that this package helps the telecom industry. With camera person Pooja Arya, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
The other big story, government has received bids for disinvestment of Air India. Tatas have submitted a bid for Air India sale. Government sources have said that multiple bids have been received. SpiceJet's Ajay Singh has also reportedly bid for the national carrier. The Department of Disinvestment has said that the process now moves to concluding stage. Centre's 100% stake in Air India and Air India Express is up for sale. Also, 50% government stake in Air India Sept is also up for sale. The other big focus, Sonu Sood, the so-called messiah of the migrants, on Wednesday faced income tax raids. The IT department carried out raids at multiple premises linked to actor Sonu Sood. The action came days after Sonu Sood became ambassador of Delhi government's school program. The actor had recently sent relief packages to flood-affected regions of Maharashtra. Saurabh Gupta has more.
Income tax officials conducting a survey at the residence of actor Sonu Sood. Sonu Sood stays in this building called Casablanca. We've been given to understand that his residence is on the 4th floor and income tax authorities have been at his home since around 3 o'clock. And that's of course a long survey. During a survey, income tax authorities can study documents and other material. They can also impound material if required. And that of course is something that we don't know if that is happening. But at this point, the income tax officials are there at Sonu Sood's residence. But beyond what the income tax officials are doing, it is also taking a political turn, or rather political color, given the fact that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has also tweeted on the matter, saying that the lacks of people's blessings are with Sonu Sood. And why is that? Well, Sonu Sood became a hero during the pandemic because of his help that he gave to people in need with migrants, and since that he's also been helping other people as well. He's been praised by many, but these income tax officials survey at his residence has come as a bit of a surprise to many. But obviously this is what we know so far, that it is in connection with a land deal or a real estate deal. But what exactly that is, no one is quite sure at this point. The survey is still going on. The matter is political. Many are attributing or likening this activity of the income tax officials to other acts of central agencies like ED and CBI and other agencies that have been given political color, or it has been alleged that the officials of these agencies have been acting at the behest of the political dispensation in power at the center, which is the BJP. BJP spokespersons have said this is just the agency doing its job, but at the moment the matter is political, apart from the fact that there is a survey happening at actor Sonu Sood's residence here in suburban Mumbai. In Mumbai with camera person Praveen G. Rohit, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Since the pandemic, actor Sonu Sood's house in Andheri is a well-known destination for all those looking for help of any kind. Every day there's a crowd of people to ask him for assistance which the state has been unable to provide. He makes it a point to come out and meet them. But today, unexpectedly, income tax officials arrived at his premises, apparently in relation to a deal he had done with a Lucknow-based real estate company. Opposition politicians are calling this a witch hunt of a man who is now known as the messiah of migrants. When millions of migrants were stranded overnight in Mumbai last year with no transport, home or food, the 48-year-old actor stepped in. A single-handed effort that managed to send hundreds home by buses, trains and even planes.
Lockdowns, we are sitting at home with all the comforts in the world. So I was working towards it where I could get all the necessary permissions, where I can get the trains arranged for them, or the buses, or any means where they can just reach their homes. And finally I could manage to send hundreds of people, almost 350 people just left on 10 buses to Gulbarga in Karnataka, and this is the first lot of people.
During the second COVID wave, where people across India were dying because of lack of oxygen, he intervened again, ordering 18 oxygen plants from France and sending them to various states across India. Funds which he says comes from donations. As he became a hero in real life, he was feted by many politicians from across the country, meeting chief ministers and leaders from Maharashtra, Telangana and Delhi. He has maintained he won't be joining any political party, but his new role had him also landing many campaigns and magazine covers.
Nothing political. मैं हमेशा maintain करता रहा हूँ कि लोग हमेशा बोलते हैं कि आप कोई अच्छा काम करना है तो politics में आइए या क्यों नहीं आ सकते. बहुत कमाल का फील्ड है, and I think अगर आप आएं तो one has to be blessed. But as of now, we haven't discussed anything political.
Officials leaving from Sonu Sood's residence here at Casablanca. Sonu Sood's house is on the 4th floor of this building. and officials can impound material as well. But at this point, we don't know if that has happened. However, questions are being raised about the timing of the income tax authority's actions, with Sonu Sood recently agreeing to become brand ambassador for a Delhi government project. And many are saying, is this simply the income tax department doing its job, or is there more to it, including a political angle? In Mumbai with camera person Praveen Ji Rohit, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Now, India's next big COVID vaccination surge is expected to be on Friday, Prime Minister Modi's 71st birthday. While a large part of the effort to ramp up vaccination efforts on the day will be led by the BJP or NDA-ruled states, the worry is whether the larger states where big numbers in daily vaccinations are a must, are they going slow on vaccinations to boost numbers on the Prime Minister's birthday? Alok Pandey reports.
Fewer vaccinations in Uttar Pradesh today after 10 lakh plus doses on both Monday and Tuesday. But officials in the state have been told to double the average daily rate on Friday, Prime Minister Modi's birthday. Across India, vaccinations have fallen by over 15% from over 80 lakhs average daily doses a fortnight ago to 69 lakhs as of Tuesday. Top officials and political leaders now accept that they are aiming for a record for the Prime Minister's 71st birthday. The highest number of daily doses have been 1.33 crores last month.
निश्चित रूप से बढ़ रहे हैं. हम दिनों दिन आपने देखा कि हमारे यहाँ कितने दिन ऐसे आ चुके हैं जब 1 करोड़ से ऊपर, इवन 1 करोड़ 30 लाख 40 लाख तक हम लोग पहुंचे हैं. और क्यों नहीं, हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री हैं, हम तो पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि हम नया रिकॉर्ड उस दिन बनाएं.
A major part of this effort is likely to be led by BJP or NDA-ruled states. But will it come at the cost of a deliberate go-slow in the larger states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar?
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जन्मदिन है 17 तारीख को. उस दिन जो है बिहार में टीकाकरण कुछ कितनी बड़ी संख्या में होगा, ये सब आप लोगों को हम लोग बता दें. उसको हम लोग उसके लिए तैयारी कर रहे हैं.
17 सितंबर को विशेष रूप से एक महा वैक्सीनेशन अभियान चलेगा. 30 सितंबर तक हम सभी जो हमारे पात्र हितग्राही हैं उनको पहला डोज लग सके.
Just 90,000 vaccinations till 5 p.m. in Bihar on Wednesday and a complete shutdown of centers in districts like Samastipur. Among the state's lowest ever, especially for a weekday. Bihar administered 3.5 lakh doses on Tuesday, just 1/3 of what the state did on Monday with 9.5 lakh doses. Signs of a go-slow in the last 2 days. In Uttar Pradesh, where less than 7% of the state's population is fully vaccinated, government sources say the aim will be to significantly better its highest ever single-day record, 35 lakh doses last Tuesday. In eastern UP's Balia, where less than 2 lakh of the district's 30 lakh population is fully vaccinated, special camps have been planned.
15 सितंबर के लिए जो है हम लोग स्पेशल कैंपेन चला रहे हैं और निरंतर ऑल ओवर इंडिया ये चलेगा. इसमें हमारे यहाँ हमारे जनपद में 192 सेंटर हम लोग वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर बनाए हैं.
In central UP's Kannauj, officials say there is a target. 26,000 doses on Friday, double the daily rate for the district.
हमारे पास ये हमारे ग्रुप पे मैसेज है, स्टेट इम्यूनाइजेशन ऑफिसर की तरफ से मैसेज है कि 17 को दुगना लक्ष्य रहेगा.
Vaccination records aside, a major worry, the approaching festival season and chances of a third wave from COVID inappropriate behavior. With Manish Kumar, Vineet Verma and Parimal Kumar, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
A 17-year-old girl in Tamil Nadu allegedly died by suicide on Wednesday in the third death linked to the medical entrance exam NEET in 4 days. The teen, a daily wager's daughter, had taken NEET and was worried that she would not clear it. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has made an emotional appeal to students. I beg you, please do not end your lives, he said.
A 17-year-old medical college aspirant died by suicide this morning in Vellore district of Tamil Nadu, reportedly worried that she would fail in the mandatory entrance test NEET that she took on Sunday. She had scored 85% in class 12. Her parents are daily wages who were not able to send her 3 sisters to college. And Soundarya had dreamed of becoming the first in her family to earn a degree.
டாக்டர் படிக்கணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டேன் நீட்டு வச்சு என்னால் எழுத முடியல கஷ்டமா இது போனா போல விட்டுடுன்னு சொன்னப்பா ராத்திரில ஆயுதுன்னு இருந்தா காலையில போட்டா காமிச்சு ஆள நீட்டு அவுட் ஆயிடுச்சு வெளி மணித்துல செய்தியில காமிச்சேன் போன்லையும் பார்த்தா இவன் வானா விட்டுறா சொல்லும் எனக்கு பிடிக்காத காலேஜ் சொல்லாமா எனக்கு பார்மேஷன் டாக்டருக்கு தான் ஆசைப்பட்டு சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து சொன்னா நான் என் ஜலத்தை விட்டுட்டேன்.
On Sunday, hours before Dhanush was to take NEET for the 3rd time, the 17-year-old son of a farm labourer had killed himself, fearing that he would not make it this time either. On Monday, a day after the test, this 17-year-old girl with 93.6% marks in 12th class and a school topper in 10th ended her life for the same reason. Her parents are lawyers.
இறுதியா நீட் தேர்வு ரத்து செய்யற நிலையை நிச்சயம் ஏற்படுத்துவோம். உங்களுடைய உயிர் விலை மதிப்பு இல்லாதது. உங்க உயிர் உங்க குடும்பத்துக்கு மட்டும் இல்ல, இந்த நாட்டுக்கு முக்கியமானது. உங்களுடைய எதிர்காலத்துல தான் இந்த நாட்டோட எதிர்காலமே அடங்கி இருக்கு. அத்தகைய மதிப்பு வாய்ந்த உயிரை மாய்த்துக் கொள்ள வேண்டாம்னு மன்றாடி கேட்டுக்கிறேன்.
Abhirami hopes to become a doctor, so her daily wage parents escape the humiliation of poverty. But NEET, she says, is a nightmare for students like her.
10th 11th 12th 3 வருஷமும் பப்ளிக் எக்ஸாம் எழுதியும் நம்ம நிறைய மார்க்ஸ் எடுத்தாலும் நம்மளால வந்து ஒரு டாக்டரா ஆகி நிறைய மார்க்ஸே எடுத்தாலும் நமக்கு வந்து அங்க வந்து சீட் கிடைக்கல அப்படின்னும் போது நிறைய பேர் என்ன யோசிக்கிறாங்கன்னா நமக்கு வந்து அவ்வளோ தகுதி இல்லை.
Tamil Nadu was hoping to get the president's assent to a bill passed in the state assembly this week to scrap NEET and revert to an earlier system of medical admissions on the basis of 12th class marks, arguing that the national exam favors the affluent who can afford private coaching. At least 17 medical college aspirants have died by suicide over the last few years across Tamil Nadu. One common thread, almost all of them are from poor families residing in rural areas. Some of them have top scores in schools but were unable to take the stress of doing well in the highly competitive NEET. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
At least 10 police teams are on the lookout for the accused after a 6-year-old child was raped and murdered in Hyderabad last week. From politicians to actors and activists are reaching out to the victim's family. Actor politician Pawan Kalyan and YSSR party leader Sharmila met the family even as a senior Telangana minister promised to eliminate the accused when caught in an encounter.
Even as there have been protest demonstrations demanding justice after the rape and murder of a 6-year-old child in Hyderabad, Telangana Minister Malla Reddy has declared the accused would be shot dead in an encounter.
తప్పకుండా వాని ఎన్కౌంటర్ చేయాలి, తప్పకుండా వాని పట్టుకుంటాము, ఎన్కౌంటర్ చేస్తాము, ఇడిసేదే లేదు వాని తప్పకుండా చేస్తాము, పరామర్శిస్తాము.
This even as the city police released a photograph of the accused, identified as Pallakonda Raju, and declared a reward of 10 lakh rupees for information leading to his arrest.
ఆచూకీ కోసం 10 టీములు దాదాపు మరి 200 మంది పోలీసులు అదే పని మీద ఉన్నారు. కానీ ఎవరితోని ఆయనకు సత్సంబంధాలు లేకపోవడం, ఎవరు ఆయనకు మరి కుటుంబ సభ్యులు అందరూ కూడా మా కంట్రోల్లో ఉన్నారు. తన ఏ ప్రతి మూమెంట్ని
Political leaders and activists have been visiting the family of the child victim, whose body was found in the house of a neighbor who has been missing ever since and is the accused in the case.
There is tremendous pressure on the government and the police as the accused has not been nabbed even 1 week after the horrific case. The controversial statement of the minister comes at a time when the Supreme Court is in fact probing whether the 4 accused in the Disha rape and murder case of 2019 were in fact eliminated in an extrajudicial fake encounter. In Hyderabad with camera person Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Welcome back. Delhi University reopened on Wednesday for final year undergraduate and postgraduate students. It is a restricted opening. Only science stream students with practical or experiment-based classes can return for in-person teaching. Meher Pandey reports.
Finally, students walking in through the Delhi University gates after almost 2 years. But nothing is like before. Only final year undergraduate and postgraduate students in science streams are allowed, and that too just for practical classes. All students on campus are expected to have taken at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. All staff are fully vaccinated. Classes have begun at 50% of capacity.
Yeah, it feels so good. Right. It feels so good after so long.
So there are so many non-science students who are very jealous of you right now. What have they said to you?
Yeah, they are just so bored, taking online classes. So they are so willing to come.
From today we are having the kids here, but we have called them in batches. Like not more than 15 in each batch.
Okay.
So that too we have asked them for a certificate of the double vaccination and if with an RT-PCR report and parents' consent. Unfortunately, we lost our colleague in the second wave only. So we have to be very careful about it.
Of the total 2 lakh students in Delhi University, less than 10% will be on campus in one day. Some art students at the Hindu College to collect previous year's transcripts say that this is not the reopening they have been waiting for.
It feels kind of pathetic that you come to college and you find nobody, no teachers and no classmates as such.
I'm not sure if I would call it a reopening, but for the science students, maybe, they could come to the labs and...
The Vice Chancellor of DU says the university is taking a cautious approach.
Only, I think, students who are Delhi residents and in the final years and also in the sciences stream that would be allowed to come depending upon the capacity of the laboratories. So 50% of the capacity laboratory we are going to fill.
So as you can see now, it's a very cautious reopening in light of the devastating second wave that happened and fears of a coming third. So with Manoj Thakur, Meher Pandey for NDTV.